Keywords doesn't play a much role in the stage one. There's something else. So when a website is built, and you expect it to show up on the Google, there are certain things to be done or to be taken care of. What are they? Huh? Ads, tags. No ads. Why will ads come into picture? There are lots of businesses which haven't done any kind of ad ever, and they all still show up on the Google in the top. Okay. Okay. So simple thing. So your website will be shown on Google search engine only when Google search engine can have a copy of your web pages or website on their server. It's something like a contact of mine can be shown on your mobile only when it is saved on your mobile phone. Correct? Otherwise, if you type Manjunath, will it simply show up like that? It might show already the saved other contacts, but not necessarily mine, right? Correct? So what should you do? You have to that number should exist on your SIM memory or mobile memory. That's when it shows up in the contacts list. Same way, if Google is showing your website, it has to save it on its server, save it on its database, right? Okay, second thing, it's great. So on your mobile phone, let's say there are 10 different contacts with the same name Manju, or let's say there are 100 contacts, all of them are starting with Yum, but they are different names. Manju, Manoj, Mahesh, some names, right? So now tell me, how does this work? Why is the contact showing up on the top? A specific contact. Correct? It's so easy to understand. It's alphabetical order on your phone. When it comes to Google, Google has, when you search for something, buy shoes online, Google has so many websites with it. But why is that a specific website ranking on the top? No views. Views doesn't come into the picture in stage one. What are those rules and regulations? What do you want to maintain? Huh? Website maintain. You maintain the website. What do you do maintaining website? Maintaining a house, I know. You will do ABC. Correct? Maintaining a house could be cleaning it regularly, painting it regularly, or doing something else. Correct? What is maintaining a website here? Okay. So now we are going to deep dive into these things and understand. First of all, how does Google get the data to its database? Right? It can show your website only when it has copy of it on its database. Correct? So I'll be telling my full name Manjunath Chaudhary Kandra today. That's when you will get to know. If I'm not telling it to you, how will you get to know? You might say, I have other sources. I will search on Google. I'll go through the LinkedIn profile. I'll do XYZ something, correct? So Google also does the same thing. We don't have to necessarily tell it to Google about our website. Okay. Okay. So we're going to understand all of that. So maybe we'll discuss this on the board today, or maybe here in the. Let me open a sheet. Let me create a new file, new spreadsheet. Yeah. Okay. So now we all were discussing about the internet servers, right? Right. Any website that's built, it will be on the internet server, correct? So now let me put an internet server here. Let me call this as internet server. Yeah. So I'll name this as internet server, where all the websites and their content or information exist here, correct? I'll grab this text. Okay. No, it's okay. It's not about using the word. It's okay. Anyway, since it becomes easy here only. Okay. So because we calculate, we use some numbers. Okay. Okay. So this is internet server. Okay. So now all the websites, content, information, everything exists here. Okay. So everything is on the internet server. Okay. So now when someone has the address, they will type. So let's say this is a browser. Now what happens? You will. So here I cannot draw here. There is something called as. Let me try using this so that we can reuse those. Okay. So when you search on Google, when you use your browser and when you type something here, your browser sends a request to the server and the server sends back the information back to the browser. Okay. So but when you search Google, it works in a different way. It works in a different way. Let me see if I can draw it here. Okay. But when you search it on Google, let me draw the Google here. This is Google server. Google server or Google, sorry, Google server or Google storage. So now when you use any query from your browser, so let's say you are not typing the domain name in the address bar, you just went to Google and you are searching something like this. So in this case, so this will be your Google front end. Google front end. You see that option Google search, something like this. You see now, this is, I'll visit google.com. This is Google's front end. Okay. So when you type something like this, a request from here, a request from here goes to, a request from here goes to Google server. I don't think I'll be able to draw. I have to explore the options if there are any. So a request from Google front end goes to Google server, and Google server sends back it to your browser like this. It sends back the information. So let's say I'm typing it here. I'm typing it here now. Exactly now, what happens? This request. See, for you, did you never wonder like how did this happens? How this happens? From where the information comes in? So it actually, when you type like this, the information. Your browser is a intermediate person. Your browser is a software or an application that is helping or establishing a communication between your computer and the internet server, right? So it can be anything. Internet is any website on the internet, right? So now when you type like this, a request goes to Google server like this, and now Google finds it and sends back it to browser like this, right? Right. So now let me take a different example. Buy shoes online. Yeah, you see Myntra is showing up here. Ignore about all these results, paid results, which we will be discussing them in the different classes. Okay, so I'm speaking about these results, right? You see, now first thing that we have to understand is how is that Google getting this information here? Okay, see what Google does is actually there are multiple ways how Google gets this information. Okay, so that's their success recipe, right? So basically, what they have done is they have written a program, right? Same way like how your washing machines, refrigerators will have the program, the microprocessors will have these microcontrollers, microprocessors. There will be a program in it in the chips. After 15 minutes, after this action or iteration, you have to stop or you have to change the mode, right? That all happens through a program. Who will tell otherwise, correct? Yes. You are communicating through the language that's understandable by those devices, correct? So same way Google has written a piece of code. What is the work of that code? That code's work is to go to the internet server. From here, it goes to the internet server. It reads all the information, right? It reads all the information that's put up on the server, right? What it does, it just doesn't read. It reads and takes a copy of it. It takes a snapshot of it or a copy of it and gets back to the internet Google server and stores it. You're all understanding the terminologies, right? This is internet server and this is Google server. Okay. So the information goes from the bot is sent by Google to the internet server. Internet server is open; anybody can access it. So even now I can access it. I know Flipkart. This is on the internet server. I am just typing like this, and I am accessing the website. Now, if I can access, bot also can access that website. Yes. Correct. So same way, what bot is doing? Bot is going to the server, reading and getting a copy of it, and storing it here, right? And when you ask for it, that's when it's going to show the results to you, right? Up to here it's clear. Yes, sir. It's clear. Now the second biggest question is a very challenging question to all of you is, so when it has read about so many websites, buy shoes, it's not just Flipkart or Amazon, there are few tens of players selling shoes, correct? Yes. And obviously Google bot must have seen all those websites as well, correct? Yes. And it must have stored all those with that as well, correct? Correct. Yes. Now why is that it's showing Myntra in the top? Everybody are selling shoes, correct? Yeah. Why is it showing Myntra only in the top? Most demand and most sales. Reebok, Puma, are they not popular? They have their own websites and even they sell shoes on their websites. Price of the shoe will be more so that people will afford for lower cost. It's like Amazon. See, it's not that way. I'll try it out. Yeah, anyways, it's all good attempt. No, everybody has content. See, look at these results. Myntra, Tata CLIQ, Amazon, Neiman's, Ezio, Flipkart, Liberty. Right? So there's so many websites. See, all these websites, all these companies has a very big digital marketing team working for them. Yes. Very experienced professionals working for them, right? And everybody knows doing all this content, right? Everybody, whatever you understand on the SEO part, they all will have SEO professionals doing it, right? Not more time on SEO. Just because I am spending more time on training, regardless of that, will you become a superstar in digital marketing? What is the correlation? Time is not the real measure here. No, it's not like that. Okay. So I kept on telling you all, right? So even before that, what would others say? Let's understand. What would the other digital marketers across the globe or internet are discussing about this? So if you ask them, so why is that Amazon, Myntra or any other website ranking on the top? You know the usual answers from these guys. Okay. So why I'm discussing this is I don't want any of you ever to be using those terms or telling those answers. Okay. So they'll say they have put meta tags, they have put lots of content, the website domain age is very high, the website is very old, the website has got backlinks, which you may not understand at this stage what a backlink is. Okay. The other weird answer is there are 200 different signals Google reads and understands, and nobody tells what are those 200 different signals. So if you go to YouTube and search how search engines function, work, or how to rank a website on the top, they will say you publish lots of content, you do backlinks, or just try asking them on the search what factors do you consider to rank the website. They might say domain age, the number of backlinks, quality backlinks, right? Lots of content, very well written content, SEO content, optimized content, and few others say I don't know really. And still there exist 10 to 15 years SEO professionals without knowing this. Without knowing this, what exactly makes it to rank on the top? And people are still implementing SEO. People are still implementing SEO and they might succeed or might not succeed. The success is now a probability case, correct?
Yes.
You are shooting in the dark without knowing anything and doing something is like closing the eyes and shooting, correct?
Yes.
Correct. It might
Work
hit the eyeball or may not,
Yes.
correct? Not eyeball, bullseye. Right, correct? Correct. It might happen or might not, correct? But what if you have to get assured results? What should you be doing? Okay. So people say there are 200 different signals, backlinks. See, of course, all this might help, and how do they help? You all will be able to explain or tell us, tell it all better. Okay. After we go through this, understanding how they work. Okay. See, it's quite simple. So, or maybe to understand this better, we'll take the offline experience of all of us here. Okay. Okay. So now let's say you are in your final year, some degree. Okay. And you are attending your exam today. The moment you receive the question paper, what happens with you?
I'll recall the answers.
You will start answering to some question in the paper, correct?
Yes.
That question may not necessarily be the first question, correct?
Yes.
Some third question, fifth question, seventh question, some random question, correct? It's not necessarily in the sequence, right? So why is that you started answering to a question which is fifth or ninth or seventh?
Because I know that.
You know that very well. Why do you know that very well?
Because I learned properly about that.
You have studied, you have read that n number of times, right?
Yes.
Right? Exactly the same happens with search engines as well. Okay, so let us take example of this. Flipkart, Jabong, Mintra, right? Agio, then Amazon, Tata, CLIQ. Enough. Not too many. Let me number them. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this is serial number. This is domain name, or let me simply call as website. Okay. So exactly. So I told you, bot goes to the internet server and gets the information. See, all this activity is called as crawling, reading. So bot basically goes to the internet server, reads all the websites, and gets a copy to. You read and you store the information in your brain, right?
Yes.
Correct. So exactly the same happens here. When bot goes here, it reads. But here, instead of read term, we use a term called crawling. What is that?
Crawling.
Crawling. Okay. It's not read. You should not be using the word read. For your understanding, we are using the word read. Okay. But the synonym of it is, but what in the search engine's terminology is crawling. Crawling. After crawling, it takes a copy of it and stores it here. This process is called as indexing. Indexing is nothing but it gets a copy and stores it here on the Google server. People call that as indexing. So now this crawl stats. I'll just call it as crawl stats for now. Oh, sorry, it has to be here. Okay. So now we understood bot is going to give more importance. See, Google is going to give more importance to your website or any website here for any website that's been crawled more number of times. Are you all getting it?
Yes, sir.
How do we understand which website has crawled more number of times? So for now, see, it's completely related to Google bots experience. I will never know how many hours you have read. Some of I have got friends. They will say, Macha, I haven't read anything at all. They'll come to the exam. Overnight, they would have studied complete night. Okay, correct.
Yes, sir.
I will never get to know A friend who is sitting next to you is not revealing how he is reading the books, which books he is reading, which chapters has he read, how many hours has he read. Correct? Now, how will you get to know about bot, whether bot has read your website or not?
Is there any tool for that?
So there are amazing tools from Google itself. We'll be understanding all of them. Okay. So for now, let's assume, let's assign some score to each of these websites based on crawling. Okay. So let's assume Flipkart has been crawled more number of times, and now if you have to give a rating or scoring in the scale of 1 to 10. Okay. Since I mentioned Flipkart got crawled most of the times, I'll give the score crawl stats score. I'll call this as crawl stats score as 10. Jabong, I'll give it as 9. Mintra, 8. Agio, 7. 6. 5. Okay. So, people whomsoever has got a cutoff marks of 60 percentage are eligible for on-campus interview or for any interviews. Same way, anybody who has got crawl frequency of at least 5 will be eligible to show up on Google first page. Ideally, this is how it could have worked or was working back to a decade or beyond that. Correct? Correct? But what happened? People started, see, people understood now, so if bot is reading your website more number of times, it's going to rank you in the top. Correct? So now let's think of this scenario. I am searching shoes online and there is some article. Uh, these are all e-commerce portals. Okay. So now, okay, you see here buy is there, shoe is there. Just because this website is being read more number of times, should bot show up this website in the top? People are searching for buy shoes online, correct? And this is something information website. So that was actually happening. Okay. So people started, see, when people understand something, they start exploiting it.
Yes.
They start exploiting it. So people got to know that this crawl frequency of my website is going to put my website in the top. They started exploiting it and they started overdoing certain things ABC, which we will be understanding, and they got the highest score, right? And now this would impact very worstly the user's experience. So if you are searching buy shoes online and if it shows how to manufacture shoes or how to prepare shoes or how to wash shoes, will you continue to use Google? Google also has experienced that. Google had to make it more stringent or bring in additional rules, right? See, now I am the user who is searching for buy shoes and I found a website like this, my experience is bad, I'm complaining about it or I stop using it, correct? Right? So hence Google decided, let me read the signals from the person who is experiencing it. Let me get the feedback or review from the person who is experiencing it,
Okay.
right? So it started measuring. So we were discussing something called as response rate. Do you all remember?
Yes, sir. There was another word also.
CTR, click through
RT.
rate,
Yes.
click through rate and response rate. What is response rate? So the response rate is number of people interacting with you or responding with you against the number of people seeing you. You are walking into this office room, 100 people sitting here have seen you, but only 10 have waved hand at you hi, right?
Yes.
So 10 divided by 100 into percentages response rate. Same way now on Google, when people search buy shoes online, and probably 10,000 searches must be happening every week for buy shoes only from Bangalore. And now from this 10,000 searches, everybody got to see all these results. See, I have searched buy shoes and I did not click on this. Why? I realized they are not selling shoes. Correct? I realized even this fellow is not selling the shoes. So I ignored. Correct? So now, what is the CTR? CTR is The number of people clicking on this against the number of people seen it. 100 people have seen it, but only one has clicked. The CTR is 1%,
Okay.
right? So people are not responding to this. So automatically, when your CTR is low, Google moves you down. Or we'll put it in another way: when your CTR is high, it implies the tendency of people clicking on your results is very high.
Yes.
So Google considers this. So it understands, okay, this is super useful, or people are really interacting with it, and I have to move it to the top. Okay. So now CTR will make your website to move to the top. So this metric, so when they introduced this additional metric, now crawl frequency alone will not make your website to rank on the top. Now crawl frequency can just bring your website closer to the first page or to the bottom of the first page. Now crawl frequency is what makes you to move to the top. When people are clicking on your results again and again, it moves top. Why will people click again and again?
Because they are interacting with the website.
Why are they interacting with your website only when there are so many other websites? Because you might have written 50% off for today, or you might have done extensive TV branding for your website, business, whatsoever, or you are very popular for that product, Reebok, Nike, or any other brands, Puma, right?
Yes.
They will be very popular, very well known for those products. See, it can be anything. It can be anything that's making them to click on it, correct?
Yes.
Correct. That's when the CTR will go up, correct?
Correct.
Regardless of the brand size or scale, whatsoever it is now. So the terms like 50% off today, correct? You get provoked, right?
Yes.
70% off, right? So digital marketers play a crucial role in improving the CTR. Not just CTR, everything that we are going to discuss here, the crawl frequency, also how the crawl frequency will be improved by digital marketer, what kind of implementations have to be done. We're going to understand all of them in depth, right? You all understood what CTR is now. So now earlier, so if we have to measure the outcome, mm, let me put it here. Outcome based on crawl. So for this, which website will rank in the top?
So,
It follows the same order, correct?
yes.
So I'll just copy paste this, or I'll call this as instead of outcome, ranking based on crawl alone, right? So now Google, the experience was not that great because people exploited. So it had one more condition, right? That is CTR. So now CTR might vary 7, 9, 10, 6, 8.
Hello.
Okay. So, so now, what should it consider? It's going to consider CTR as well. Now, on basis of this, which website will rank in the top? Mintra. So you are not expecting crawl frequency at all now.
Sir, you said
What is the point of having the crawl frequency now? If it has to just consider CTR, what is the point of having crawl frequency for the website? Crawl stats for the website.
that is bot this one. So that is a bot that is working and it's giving a ranking of 8. But click-through rate is the one that
Users
Yes,
behavior or response.
Ah, yes.
So now it doesn't simply consider one thing, it considers both, right? So now, based on ranking based on ranking based on two metrics. Now tell me, considering these two metrics, which one will be ranking in the top?
So, Jabon.
So let me do one thing. Who has got the highest score here?
Jabon.
Jabong and Mitra both. So what I'll do is I'll change this to some number. Let's say, okay. Who has got the highest score? Mintra. Where is Mintra? So now Mintra will be Correct. Second, so what did we do? We have calculated the average. How do we calculate average? Average is sum of two metrics or sum of two numbers divided by 2. So this is 1, this is 1, 2, right? So 10 plus 7, 16. 16 divided by, so sorry, 10 plus 7, 17. 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. Correct? So that's how the average is calculated. So based on this average now, first is Mintra, second is Jabong, third Flipkart, fourth Amazon, fifth Ajio, and sixth is, this is how your rankings. Okay. Now you have to understand how to improve this crawl stats and how to improve the CTR as well. Okay. Now this is not done still, right? So you all know CTR. See, now a digital marketer understood CTR also plays a very crucial role, and he knows the tricks as well now how to improve the CTR. And now what these people do, they'll simply write 70 percentage off. But when you click and go, see, they have written up to 60% off. When you click and go, they are not even 5% off. They are lying to you, right? Right?
That's keyword. So like that plays a role.
No, no, no. That's not a keyword. You are just trying to attract them. I'll give you the different terminologies as we go, as we continue for the next classes. So now what are they doing? They are trying to attract as much possible by using words like 60 percentage off. You must have seen, you go to Shivaji Nagar, Jayanagar, they'll be writing, they will be putting the price 10 rupees, 10 rupees, 10 rupees or 20 rupees. You go there, everything will be beyond. Correct? So they want people to be first attracted. They know how to sell. Correct? Correct? So now same way, look at this guy who has written 60 percentage off. Correct? Or it could be sometimes true also. Correct? But what happens when they visit the website, they might see product out of stock, or they might see it only 5% off. Is users final goal or objective met here when it is out of stock? It's not met. It's not met. When it is out of stock, it's not met. When it is live, it's not met. User might back off. Correct?
Yes,
Right? So now people see the digital marketers started doing all these things and still the user experience is not great. Users are still disappointed. So people will stop using Google if they are not really serving the purpose of the end user. Okay. So what do they give more importance to? We will discuss that. We were supposed to discuss that before starting search engine functionality. I missed out. But once we are done with this, I'll explain you. Okay. So Google gives utmost importance to relevancy, whether the object or purpose is served or not. Okay, and up to date information. So I'll give you the examples of relevancy, up to date information, and purpose of goal served or not. For now, from this we understand the purpose is not served. Correct? Correct? The purpose is not served. So what happens now? So Google has introduced one more metric called as user engagement. User engagement. Okay. So now if it is out of stock, what's the user experience going to be? It's going to be something like this. If they have, Jabong is very well known for variations, the product list, everything and all. Okay. Okay. So now it's going to measure the average of all this three metrics. Okay. So I'll just put it in a different color. Okay, so now what happens to the average? Let's calculate the average. Okay, I can simply use this formula average or averages. Now tell me who will be ranking in the top? Who will be ranking first? Jabong. Second, third, Flipkart. Fourth, fourth, fifth. So let me change this to yeah. So this will be fourth, this will be fifth, and this will be sixth. So these three metrics, crawl stats, CTR, and engagement play a crucial role. These are the only three metrics that play the crucial role in ranking your website, decides the ranking of your website. It's not just the crawl frequency or just the CTR or just engagement. You have to be good at all the subjects. So it's like you have to be good at all the metrics here. So when it comes to your education, you must have scored 100 out of 100 in mathematics and fail in science. Will you be promoted to the next class? They'll consider all the subjects, right? Right? You know better, right, Sanjay? Okay. So I'll turn it on. First, you answered me this question. Yeah. You will not be promoted. So in five subjects, you must have scored very well. Sixth subject gone. Will you be promoted still? And your aggregate or average will be higher than everybody else in the class. Still, you are failed. Correct? So same way, if you are meeting these three criteria, fulfilling these three criteria, you will be eligible to show up on the Google. Okay. So now we were discussing some time back. People tell domain authority, backlinks, branding, quality content, and number of things. Technical SEO. We did not discuss that. So now, digital marketer might be doing hundreds of things. All those hundreds of things are done to improve one of these metrics, or two of these metrics, or all of these metrics. Anything that you do or implement will help improving one of these metrics, or some of these metrics, or all of these metrics. You all understood? So you should be knowing why you are doing backlinks. You should be knowing how a technical SEO is going to help you, which we are going to discuss. See, people tell, okay, if I do technical SEO, my website will rank in the top. You ask them why, they'll not tell. It's something like my grandfather says, do not have, don't speak while having the food. If I ask him why, he will slap me and tell, don't ask me. My grandfather has told not to speak while having food. That's all I know. You simply blindly follow it. Correct? There are hundreds of such things. Last class also we were discussing, right? Yeah. So 90% or 99% of the digital marketers doesn't know how search engines function exactly. So few people are blindly doing it, and the fortunate thing with them is somehow they are capable of doing it, succeeding, right? But your success is assured when you understand it thoroughly how it works. Correct? Okay. So why is that? It will be cold to all of them. Then it will be climate is very cool.
So if these
Huh?
two criteria are not matched,
Three criteria:
no, no, no. First, you go to
crawl
yeah,
frequency.
and CTR. If these two are not matched, then you go to user engagement. Or else Google will see all the three criteria.
You have to pass in all the subjects. That's what I kept telling.
No, 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 no.
Huh. Google
First
sees
you
all
go
three.
like first two and
Huh,
then
huh,
you
huh,
go.
huh. I'll clear it. See, crawl frequency is the first thing. It's something like it's like cutoff marks for you to attend the on-campus interview.
The bot.
Yeah, what bot does the crawl frequency. If you have got very good crawl frequency, it's like you are now eligible to attend the on-campus interview or any interview. Second thing, CTR is like, see, everybody are eligible and attended the interview. And now whomsoever performs best in the first round will go to the second round. Otherwise, gone. And whomsoever does best in all the rounds, they'll be grabbing the job opportunity. Correct? So same way, so crawl frequency makes your website to show up on the Google somewhere. It can be 10th page, 5th page, 6th page, 2nd page, or bottom of the first page. Correct? Or somewhere closer to the first page. So CTR is what decides, CTR is what makes your website to move to the top. If you have a very good CTR, how do you get good CTR? There is a deeper engineering on that, how you improve the CTR. We will have a very detailed discussion. So for now, simply blind thumb rule is you have to attract your target audience. Somebody is searching for digital marketing training or digital marketing course. How will they get attracted? Probably writing, practical exposure, right? Or speaking about the trainer. Trainer has trained this many number of students and has got the highest rating. Or if someone is concerned about the placements, or placements are this is what attracts grabs your attention, correct?
Yes.
Correct. So when you are writing anything that's shown to your target audience, you have to understand their pain points and you have to exactly speak about the same, not just like that. If you do it just like that, you will be thrown away when it comes to a measurement of user engagement. It's like for some police job, you have managed, bribed and managed some of the rounds. The written test someone wrote, somehow you took the entrance, physical test gone if you're not really fit, correct? Correct? So same is the case. CTR, somehow you made something and you have achieved the CTR, but if your user engagement is not good, you will be still, all the average of all of the performance will be measured, and if you are scoring the lowest, okay, so this will be the final outcome. So the intermediate stages are just to understand how it works. Okay, average of three metrics. You all understood, right, how search engines function? Now today you go to Google and ask Google or YouTube, you go and ask how to make the website rank in the top. Nobody explains that you have to focus on these three metrics. They will tell, they'll start without knowing how will you, see it's completely wrong, right? Me telling you, you will be probably knowing. See, let's assume I'm asking you, okay, take the lift, press the number one button in the lift, go to the ground floor, take left, take right, and I might leave you in the midway. Correct? Fact is, I'm actually guiding you to your home. Correct?
Yeah.
Ideally speaking, I don't have to guide you to your home. If I had told you, you go to your home, you would have gone easily, correct? Just because I started you spoon feeding or you have to rely on me completely, it doesn't work like that. So in SEO, people write so many such things. You do backlinks, you do technical SEO, you do quality content. What is this quality content again? Your focus has to be whatever you do, it's all done to do these three things. In Kannada, there is saying, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಗಾಗಿ ಗೇಣು ಬಟ್ಟೆಗಾಗಿ. Correct? Heard of it? Heard of it? No? It's same thing in SEO. Whatever you do to improve these three metrics. Any effort of yours will either improve one of the metrics or two of them or all three of them also. We'll be understanding better which and how about all these metrics. Okay. So before that, let's understand the main search engines, the Google's main goal or objective. Okay. Google's main goal or objective, or in fact any search engine, okay, to serve relevant contents, to serve up to date contents. Okay, so for example you are searching for let's say Irfan Khan, sorry, maybe you are searching for digital marketing institute, but results are about not data science, maybe data science, or maybe it shows you these platforms Udemy, which are not really relevant. See, you are looking for a physical location. Institute is physical, but they are showing data science or Udemy results, which is not relevant. Okay, so up to date content. Example, you are searching for information about Salman Khan accident or drove car on people, which he must have done yesterday again, but it's showing 10 years back news. Correct? It's not up to date. Correct? So, drove car on people about yesterday's news, and if Google shows 10 years back results, it is not up to date. Correct? You understood relevant content, you understood serve up to date content, and third is object objective or goals of end user has to be has to be fulfilled. Example, user wants to buy a pair of shoes from a specific brand, a specific size and color. So the website which has inventory and all the convenience to help them to order or buy the shoe can ensure the objective or goal of goal of end user is met. See, these are the three main goals that Google will be considering or working towards it. Okay. So if you have to show up on the Google, compulsory. See, this is actually it's not the main goal or object, in fact, of any search engine. This is a primary. I would say it's a pressure to the search engines that they cannot show something irrelevant. Okay, it's the primary objective. Okay, so if these objectives are not met by search engines, people might stop using them. Correct? What happens if you stop using them? This will impact their revenues significantly. If you stop using Google and if you switch to Bing, what happens? Google ad revenue will go away. Correct?
Yes, correct.
See, they are showing organic results and they are getting ad revenue. Correct? They will lose the revenue. This is their main goal, right? So, this being the criteria or reason, they have introduced all these metrics. Otherwise, how will they understand? Correct? Whether that is relevant or not, up to date or not, right? It's clear, right, for all of you?
Yes, sir.
Understood how search engines function, right? So now, if you can understand how to improve this, how to improve this, and how to improve this, you are a SEO professional and a very good SEO professional, in fact, right? So it's like without learning alphabets and formation of the words, you are trying to write a poetry. See, if you have to write a poetry, you should know how to form the sentences. If you have to form the sentences, you should know how to form the words. If you have to know how to form the words, you should know the alphabets. Correct? Without knowing any of these things, you cannot straight away jump to writing a poetry. Correct? Right? But unfortunately, everybody does that. They straight away start, okay, this is meta tags, go write website, meta tags. Now, one by one, we will start understanding so that it becomes super easy to understand. Okay, so that's what was explained on the board long back. You all see, right? Myntra, Jamo, Flipkart, Amazon. Okay, So there is already a video which was explained without computer, without board, just sitting. So you can watch that video also. Has got more details how to improve everything. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you are following these classes, you are doing YouTube.
Yes. You're not. You're watching them, right?
I just watched some videos. Why is it seem to appear?
Not everybody, but everybody can see them. You see it, and see the problem is, see those videos are published over there to create a convenience for you. So whenever you want to go and take a look at it, see even if the whole world sees this, nothing is going to happen. The problem is they won't be able to see for you. You will be able to grasp or observe that because you already sat in the class, right? And you got tuned to my way of explaining also, correct? Somebody suddenly who opens a video randomly from the playlist may not understand that is show more interest. Basically, see anybody can understand. I have seen people same exactly. So same thing is being explained in one of the video. People have commented exactly this is what I was looking for. Till now, I haven't found answer to this. Perfectly explain something like that because this is all a concept made up by me to help you all understand. Okay. You will not find this anywhere on the internet. In recent times, you might start seeing this. Some other YouTubers or people might start redoing the videos after watching my videos.
Okay, your question.
Huh?
Because we are waiting for this. Why should we have one? Yeah, I'm not joking.
No. See, from your perspective, see, your concern, your perspective is I am paying and learning it. Why should others learn it without paying?
No, exactly. Learning is different. But learning the tricks is something that we are paying for.
See, I have explained this to all my juniors, people whomsoever have worked with me in the past. Okay,